Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to the fourth episode of Jengar's Combat Report. Today we are looking at my 1 versus 9 or 8 because that one guy crashed. 1 versus 8 reversal where we pull it out of the fire. You've seen this before in my review, of course. The P-43A-1 sitting at 2.7 battle rating. Fantastic little plane, a mini Thunderbolt, sometimes we call it like that. It's a nice plane, but it doesn't have many strings to work with. It's great in a dive, it has the 450 cals. Firepower then is good, but the performance is no more than decent. Some things are average. Climb rate is average. Turn time can be good with flaps, but the flaps rip off fairly quickly, so nothing to write home about. It's a fairly average plane overall, average to decent, and basically boom and zoom and maybe 1 or 2 turns in a pickle. But here we climbed and we go straight for the head-on in this with this Sky 45. Why? Because we have enemies all over the place. I could just try to be careful here, but then I might as well die. So I gotta take risks here. That's what I would do in this situation where you're outnumbered heavily. You gotta thin out the enemy numbers as soon as possible. If you don't do that, you will die anyway. So it doesn't matter if you die from taking risks. Now here I plan to take my final shots on the Sky 45. I have a damaged engine and I'm planning to dive out to the airfield. I could have killed him, by the way, if my aim was more on point, but I didn't, unfortunately. And we are getting the hell out of Dodge. This situation has given me all I gotten. I did 2 head-ons. I got one, I missed the other one, and I could have gotten that last guy. But so in a more generous situation, I could have gotten 3 kills there. And you come out of such a situation on your airfield with 3 kills and thinning out the enemy team. But here I am, 1 versus 9. Now one of those guys will crash, as you see there in the corner, the N1K1 crash. So it's a 1 versus 8 now. And we are going to try to turn it around. But yeah, those things you gotta plan that, man. Well, I was on the high altitude, not many people climb with me, and when you're up against a multitude of enemies, you gotta thin them out, or at least you gotta try. If you don't do that, you can't play that safe. And so, as a fighter pilot, you often have to be aggressive. You have to be in the mindset of, I am the one surrounding you guys, you are not surrounding me. Surrender, and I will spare your lives. You know, that's the kind of attitude you gotta have as a fighter pilot, in my opinion, especially when you're outnumbered. And you gotta go for it. So, we've got a Kai 44, a far superior plane to mine, coming in, and I see several dots in the against the clouds there as well. So we've got visitors, and I have barely taken off. We're at 600 meters, and this plane is not fantastic in the maneuvering department. It can take 2 or 3 turns fairly well with flaps. Flaps only rip off at 460, as I said. That is not a problem for the regular cruise speeds, but when you're in a little bit of a dive, you can rip off those flaps. But this plane is basically a boom and zoomer, and as I said, he can take a few turns in a pickle. But once he gets slow, that turn time becomes fairly average again, and you will lose most of the time. So the window you can use that is very small. So I gotta build some energy here, and I gotta build it fast. So what I was trying to do is, this guy was following me, so he definitely saw me. Sometimes you have pilots with a lower crew level. They lose sight of you fairly quickly, so I was hoping for that, but he is following me, so I decided to turn around and hopefully climb out the other way. That was my strategy here, and I was hoping it would work. Now, you're not always sure about that, of course, but this is what I like to see. Enemy fighters that are going for ground targets. When you're in a 1 versus 8 situation, you always want to see people who lose their patience and start going for ground targets and hope that the few of their allies that climbed will solve the problem for you. So now the Kai 44 definitely has his eyes on me. He's coming in, but I've also got a Corsair coming in there. So I'm trying to pick up some speed. And he's definitely coming, so I've decided to turn around. He wants to shoot some AA guns from the airfield to thin the numbers. He's extending again. He turned around, so I got to deal with this guy 44 first. Now I got to remember that the Corsair is on the other side, so I want to take this guy into the opposite direction of where the Corsair is. So try to remember that as you go into this engagement with a little bit of rolling involved. It wasn't quite a rolling scissors, but you got to keep your camera work on point. And now, why am I spending so much ammo here? Because I want to take him out. I don't care about the ammo. I need to take him out. There is a Corsair behind me. And, well, he's being shot at by the airfield. But I got it in the numbers again. So you want to use what you have. And this plane has plenty of ammo. So I wasn't worried. I see the Corsair was killed. I'm taking the head-on here. And we put a fire on him. Why did I take the head-on here? Because the P-43 is quite the sturdy plane. It's really a plane that can take a little bit of damage, more than the Ki-44 in any case. That's why I took that risk, and it paid off. My pilot stayed unharmed, so I've got control. My engine is damaged though, so I gotta get back to the airfield, and I've got a Ki-61 incoming as well, which is also a more maneuverable plane in a sustained turn fight than me. But so I'm picking up the energy that I can, and we'll see what we can make of it. There's a Corsair coming in as well. He's diving like a maniac. So we're in a 1 versus 2 situation here again. I mean, if these people want to come to the airfield to get me, then that's their problem. Because the airfield is working for me in this case. They didn't even give me a chance to fly out of there. So yeah, they all want that kill. So here comes the Corsair. We're turning in. We're trying to get right underneath him, so he has to keep diving for me. And sometimes people do this. Pancake, thank you. Gotta love those maneuver kills where you have somebody collide with the environment. That is very satisfying. But we still have the Ki-61 here. Now we are turning in again, trying to stay right below him, so that he's got to make a very steep dive. He got to come out at a certain point, right? Roll over as he comes close, and try to make my profile as small as possible. That means not having my wings fully spread when he flies by, but trying to have your wings facing him, so that he has a small profile to shoot at. That's what you got to aim at. Fortunately, the AA comes to my help here, but that was expected, as these guys, you know, they took the risk. I'm now in a 1 versus 4, which is much better than a 1 versus 8. And we got a few kills in the meantime as well. But when somebody's diving on you like that, you got to turn, and then at the last moment you got to do something unexpected. Turn the other way or roll or do something. But what you want to do is when he gets close, you want to have your wings facing him. You don't want to show your full profile to him. He will have much more space to hit. You want to be that as small as possible as he comes by, and that helps a lot. You would be surprised at how often that has saved my life, showing a small profile to the enemy as you expect him to fire. Really helps. So we repaired again, and we are climbing again. See what we can do. Now, if you have problems keeping your camera on the enemy, what you want to do is work on your camera work. You can do that by going into a test flight and try to keep looking behind you as you fly. You want to fly with the keyboard. You want to have all your main control surfaces on the keyboard, and then you got to practice keeping looking behind you. Look around a little bit as you maneuver, and that's what you got to practice. You will do worse first in real matches with trying to learn that from what you did before, because you get out of your comfort zone. But you will be better eventually, in the end, after all that practice. So it's blood, sweat and tears. Difficult, but you got to persist. So a Ki-61, superior plane for me. We get a hit in for him in the head-on. I turn early and we survive. We are now in the problem. We are in a rolling scissors a little bit, and he is better at that. So I gotta finish this, and I gotta finish it fast. We extend the flaps. We try to shoot there as I feel that my guns are there, and we do get the hits there, which is very nice. He's on fire. We eliminate him, and we've got the next plane coming in. This is always what you hope for in a 1 versus many, that they don't come all at once. Now we had those 4 guys at the airfield, but they came in duos, and now we've got people coming in one by one, and that is ideal for me. I mean, you don't want the enemy team helping each other and saying, wait for me, let's all go in at once, because then you are basically screwed unless you have the superior energy advantage, but we don't have that right now. This is a floater 0, so it's no problem, hydroplane. But it is more maneuverable than me again, and it does have cannon, so we gotta be careful a little bit here. I do make an error here. I come in too quickly here so he's still coming, and I thought he was already out of energy, but he wasn't. So that was a little bit of a risk there. I did turn off quick enough though. He didn't get the guns on me, but I did take a risk there. And that was just the visual error. I thought he was stalling out, and I was wrong. That also happens. We do come off light in this case though. But yeah. We've got the P-43 incoming behind us in the meantime. He came from altitude, so he holds the superior energy, and he is quickly coming in. We are now extending. It took a while though. I clipped that away here. I edited that out, and but I decided to do something here. In theory, a P-43 is still a maneuverable plane, but for those first few turns, I should be more maneuverable than him. And if I can get some damage in then from him, I should be fine. So again, a head-on here. With 50 cals you can always take a head-on, especially when you're in a plane that is quite durable. Turning in immediately with flaps. Flaps gave me the warning there. And I raise my flaps again. I want speed now as we come out of these turns. I want to try to close the distance a little bit. Not enough lead there. And we have asymmetric. I didn't lose a flap, but we get a hit again on the wing. I tried to go for that right wing there. But we now are in the superior advantage. He's very slow. He lost his maneuverability that he has in the P-43. We're coming in, rolling over, and trying to get in the final shots here, as we are very close to him. We just got to put it in the right place now. And that should be it. Yes, we got a fire. He does have a back gunner that is annoying, but we took him out. And we get him our 5th kill in this match. And I guess we'll go back to the airfield again because we are damaged. We have an overheated engine. Our pilot is injured. And the tickets ran out all of a sudden, so this match gets ended prematurely. But oh well. 5 kills is what you want in these matches. But in these kind of situations, your mindset is very, very important. You gotta be in the invincible mindset and take risk where you can take them. Use your ammo where you can use it. And yeah, be decisive in these situations. Be decisive. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.